Spartans to Mission Debrief. We've played every mission of the mainline Halo video games, and now we're playing every mission from the rest of the games in the franchise in chronological order. Each episode we'll be discussing our experiences and sprinkling in a little lore along the way. If you'd like to play along and have your thoughts read on the show, email us at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. We'll be playing the Dome of Light mission from Halo Wars on the next episode. If you like what you hear and want to support the show, visit Podcast Evolved on Patreon. This episode, we're debriefing the Arcadia Outskirts mission from Halo Wars. I'm your host, Colin Perkins, alongside David Arnold.
Hello, everybody.
And Krysta Brown.
It's a Spartan party, and you're all invited.
There are so many Spartans in this one.
There is way more than I remember being in this mission.
I don't think any... Are these Spartans even canon at this point? Like,
I know. They're just shells. Here's some more Spartans. They're shoveling them into us.
It's just empty Mjolnir armor.
I suppose it's the one moment in all these games that gives you a feel of a shit ton of Spartans on the field, what that actually does. And you don't get to see that in any other games.
Fucks up shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Cool. It's called the Wrecking Shop. Last mission was Arcadia City. Following the information, Professor Anders extracted from the Forerunner relic, the Spirit of Fire left Harvest and traveled to Arcadia. Upon arrival, they discovered the planet was under Covenant attack. Sergeant Forge was deployed to the surface to aid in the civilian evacuation, led by a trio of Spartan 2s named Red Team. The UNSC gained a temporary foothold within the city, saved as many civilians as possible, and then retreated through the traffic tunnels beneath the city. Now, in Arcadia Outskirts, Forge, Red Team, and a handful of Marines escaped Perth City, that's the name of the city that we were in, Perth City by the skin of their teeth and retreat to a defensible position outside the city. They must hold back the Covenant onslaught long enough for Spartan Team Omega to reinforce their efforts, eliminate the Covenant presence, and gain a foothold on the planet Arcadia. Date of the game is February. It's most likely the 9th because the last mission was the 9th. But the Halopedia didn't have a date. 2531. We don't have a cutscene this time.
Nope.
We just have
it just goes right into it.
Just a quick in-game,
It kind of
gameplay.
melds with like the last scene we see in Arcadia City where we're running out of the city. It's just kind of a continuation.
Yep, it feels right. So we're just kind of scurrying out of the city, and we're looking for a spot to hold our ground, as I just kind of put into the description there. And it's Forge, and it's you. So this mission, we get to control Red Team. Get to do it. We get Spartans on our side. Yeah, so
baby.
Play around with that. Have some fun.
There's an achievement to have them hijack like so many vehicles in this.
Oh, there was
so
in this
much
mission.
Fun. Yes, it's not like an optional objective, but it's like an achievement you can get. You have to have them hijack like 5 vehicles, which is so much fun.
Which is probably pretty easy towards the end, because you get
all you do is like make them hijack a wraith, and then get the wraith destroyed, and then have them hijack another wraith, and just keep doing that over and over again.
Yeah, David, do you want to kind of take us through this initial escape though? Like, so what are we doing? We're rushing back. Serena
you're pretty much
go
given
find a spot.
Yeah, you're given a bunch of units to start. A bunch of Marines, Forge is there on his Warhog, and a Scorpion, as well as Red Team. And you pretty much, there's enemies behind you. You should not turn around and try and fight them. It's not going to end well. You pretty much have to move your team relatively quickly up the kind of road. There's a few kind of ghosts that attack you, a couple of hunters every now and again, and a few other like gun towers and stuff like that. Nothing really crazy. I kind of messed up by like trying to get the black box, which is at the start of the mission a little bit. So I like held the area a little bit and went sent Forge over to get the black box. So I lost a ton of dudes just doing that. So I was like, oh, this was stupid. So immediately ran all the way to the end. There's pretty much a base waiting for you to get set up, and then you pretty much have to hold the fort while you build up your units to fight back again and go back. Essentially fight back the way you came.
Exactly. Let me do the objectives of the mission, and we'll kind of go through our toy box as we've been doing in every episode. So the objective is, as David just said, retreat to the southern crater. That's the first objective. Then we need to secure the area by killing all the Covenant in the area. Once you get to the crater, then you need to just clear out the crater. And so that some of these objectives are weird because it's like you have to do that in order to proceed. But
they're objectives.
Yeah.
And then the optional objectives are the ones that you kind of can do by yourself.
Right. That's a good point. The next one is defend the crater until Omega Team arrives, and it takes a little bit for them to come. Then destroy the Covenant base and its guard, and that's kind of at the top of the map. When I was playing this too, and I finally realized, I think during these episodes I've referred to as like the southwest corner and things like that. That's because like the map is arranged a certain way when you start, but that's not necessarily north. Like up isn't necessarily north in all these. I think in this mission it happens to be, but in some of them the map is turned a little bit, and you can actually rotate the camera if you want to. I mess with that a little bit. Sometimes you'll have to do it to get like a skull that's hidden off on the side or something like that. Anyway, the optional objectives are construct a second base. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then destroy 5 wraiths. Par time is between 21 and 23 minutes. So I think it's similar to the previous mission. I think that is because your retreat takes a certain amount of time, and then the timer for Team Omega to show up must be
20 minutes.
20 so yeah, exactly.
20 minutes is when Omega Team drops.
Right. So you really want to retreat as quickly as possible so that you can get that time bonus.
Yeah, so that's like the first bit of trivia, is that it's actually impossible to beat the level before 20 minutes. Even if you destroy the base, enemy reinforcements will still continue to be sent through the highway tunnel until the Spartans actually arrive. And then it might be easier. The level might actually be easier, but like it'll cause various kind of audios to play out of order. It's not ready for you to actually do that. It's funny.
Oh, funny. All right, the scoring goals are: gold is 40,000, silver is 25 to 40, bronze is 15 to 25, and then our lowly tin. Who's our tin people out there?
My tin.
Thanks for playing.
All the tin people, raise your hands.
That's right. 0 to 15,000 for tin. Theoretical best score in this, believe this is without skulls, is the theoretical best score, is 56,000. I didn't get gold on this one. I struggled on this.
What?
I even played it again last night just to see if I could get gold, and I came a little short. So heroic is rough. I got 33,075. David, what'd you get?
Step back. I got me 40,775 on normal.
Nice. Just got it.
Oh, both of you step back. I got 50,260.
Oh shit!
No way.
Krysta Brown.
Oh yeah.
You crushed this
one.
one.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you're gonna walk us through your strategy first, because apparently that one works. Nice work. What's in the toy box this mission, Krysta?
Oh, we have some fun stuff in the toy box. I loved this toy box. So we have our lovely hero units. We have Forge in his awesome Gauze Hog, as always. Mm-hmm. And then we have the Spartan 2s that we can actually control, which is Jerome 192, Alice 130, and Douglas 042.
Actually, Jerome is
Wait, hold
on. I'm looking at Jerome. He's 092. That's
192. Oh, it's 092? Yep. Okay, excuse me. I was given bad information.
You were given bad information. Good thing I caught it.
But these guys are awesome. They pretty much all do the same thing, but one of them has a rocket launcher, one of them has a
chain gun,
Spartan laser, and one of them has the chain gun.
So I have that written down here. Spartan laser is Jerome, and then Alice is the chain gun, and Douglas is the rocket launcher. Although Douglas, when in that initial cutscene, it looks like he has 2 SMGs. I think he has 2 SMGs right away, which is weird. Anyway.
The fucking Spartan laser is great. Yes. Like, holy shit. It just shreds through wraiths.
Yeah, Jerome
But
Rex.
The amazing ability these guys have, they all have the same ability, but if you press Y on a vehicle, like a wraith, they just take over that shit, and then you got a wraith. Mm-hmm. It's awesome.
And they have a cool little animation of doing it as well.
It's a great animation. And the other great thing is, if the wraith explodes, your Spartan is completely fine.
Yes, that is key.
It is. It's basically like they get 2 lives. Mm-hmm. It's really great.
The other thing
and then you can just have them immediately hijack another wraith.
Yeah, it's great. And they do it pretty easily. They don't take too much damage when they're doing it. The other thing I didn't realize until this, actually, I don't think I realized until I did play ahead just to the next mission because I was preparing for the show.
Traitor.
That I didn't realize
Heretic.
that they could hop in our own units also.
Yes.
Wait,
So
what?
Yeah, they can do that.
yeah, they can take over scorpions. They can take over cobras. They can take
Really?
over, I think, pretty much everything.
Oh shit!
And
I
all of a
never
sudden
knew
they
that.
become so they're Spartan controlled, and they all automatically get full veterancy. So then they have 3 stars.
Do they throw out the pilots of the various vehicles onto the ground? Like, is it actually a hijacking?
Just like, get out of here.
Yeah. But so that's something that I used at the very end of the mission is all of a sudden I had all these Spartans. I was like, okay, you get a Cobra, you get a Scorpion, you get a Hornet. Like, let's go, baby. It was pretty good, but I still didn't get my gold. All right, keep going, Krysta. What else we got?
All right, we have some more awesome things. So, of course, we have our fire base, which has our supply pad reactor, turrets, and warthogs, which is what you can do right from the fire base. We have barracks, which is our marines and our flamethrower marines. We have our vehicle depot, which has scorpions, cobras, and wolverines. So we got that anti-air, and we have that anti-vehicle guy, just for fun. And then we come to the air pad. And if you look at the air pad, there's something very nice waiting for you.
Oh no,
And
Krysta.
we're all very happy it's there. It's,
What is it?
I'm not happy.
It's we have our hornets, which is great. We love the hornets. But then there's something else.
What is
it's
it?
called a vulture.
Oh.
And it needs like a ton of stuff to make, but it's the most badass vehicle in all of Halo Wars. It's so good.
Yeah, it
I
really
totally
is.
fucked this up. I didn't
You
even
didn't see it?
look.
You need
I didn't even build one because I was like, I don't want hornets in this
you
mission.
suck. You always
Yeah.
have to look for the vulture, dude.
I don't know why. I just totally forgot about it. I'm like, I don't
This
need
is
it.
why you're only getting 40k, man.
Oh,
This is why you
man.
ain't pulling 50k.
Man, I was so focused on getting ODSTs this time because I fucked it up the last time. I was like,
Oh.
okay, I'm getting ODSTs, so that was my focus.
Mhm.
And I forgot you have to do a whole bunch to get that. Like you,
yeah,
it's-
to upgrade.
yeah,
Free
it's
lightning
in your
bolts,
leader
don't you?
power, but you also have to research everything on the marine side beforehand, and then you
Oh.
have. So like, it doesn't just unlock when you meet the leader power requirements. You actually have to upgrade your
Oh.
marines to ODSTs to
gotcha.
unlock the leader power. So
That's
I didn't.
rough.
Yeah,
You also have to do a lot for vulture too. I think you need 4 reactors.
Yep, you need 4.
so
And it's 900 for each vulture, and it's about 6.
Yeah.
It takes up 6 unit spots.
So I didn't cop on until this mission. I maybe I forgot about this, but I don't remember ever doing it the first time playing Halo Wars 1. You can garrison units into the power stations around the map and take them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
I
that is
totally
the
forgot you
first
could do
thing
that.
you do. That's the first thing you do.
Yeah, so I did it this game.
Yeah,
anyway,
that's
but
slick.
Didn't use it.
I'll teach you guys how to play this
I
mission.
think I need to be taught how to play Halo.
All right, so we have our field armory, which gives us reserves, reinforcement, turret upgrades, adrenaline, and the Mac Blast
Mac
upgrade,
Blast.
which is
That's
Yeah.
new, right? I don't think we had carpet bomb before.
yes. Now we have the Mac Blast, which I didn't use at all, honestly.
I did. I used it for the turret right away, the mega turret. It took a nice little chunk out of it.
Can it just take
Yeah, I
it
did
out?
that too.
No,
Take it out?
it just took
It
a chunk
takes
out
a
of
chunk
it.
of
At least on
health,
heroic. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then we have our Spirit of Fire abilities, Heal and Repair, Mac Blast, and, of course, the ODST drop.
Mhm.
Very sweet. Very nice. And then we have the Covenant units. What are the Covenants?
It's pretty basic, right?
Covenants. Yeah, we got the Elites, Grunts, Jackals, Hunters. Lots of Hunters. Our Shade Turrets in the towers. Our Spirit Drop ships that kind of come around and fuck us up every once in a while. And then our ground units, the Ghosts, and lots of Wraiths.
No
And then
locusts,
we
right?
have
I
some
didn't see any
Banshees every once in a
I
while.
didn't see any locusts, so I
No,
took
me
them
neither.
off.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't see any locusts. I didn't see any vampires.
Right.
So air units are just banshees. Maybe on legendary is when they pop up. And then we have the mega turret, which doesn't really do. It didn't really do anything. It didn't attack my base or anything.
I have a story on the mega
Please
turret.
tell.
I guess when I do my playthrough, like it only seemed to fuck me up once, and that was it. Like once you get up to it, but.
Yeah. Then it starts kind of messing with you. But
Do we need to talk about Red Team at all? I mean, like from a lore standpoint, they're Spartan 2s. They're in the same class as
Master Chief.
and all our.
The game
all our
itself doesn't
buddies.
go into a whole lot of detail about them. They're just kind of there. But if you've played this much of Mission Debrief, I'd say you've got a good handle on what Spartan 2s are, and these is just another team.
Yeah, I don't think we need to cover off on that stuff. But I mean, I guess if you're more interested, because And again, I'm forgetting a lot of the story, so I haven't played too far ahead. So maybe there's some stuff that we can talk about later in the game, but for the most part, there's not much lore on these guys outside of, just specifically this game. So.
I think they're a pretty underrated team when it comes to that. Now, I know there's like some other books that bring in teams you barely even heard of, but I think in terms of what these guys do, I mean, everything's always about Blue Team, but I actually really appreciate Red Team here. I like them through both the Halo Wars games. I thought they've gotten better and better, and I'm excited to see them mingle someday.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically the Spartan team that just belongs to Halo Wars at this point.
Yeah. Yep.
We don't really see that. You don't see them in the books. You don't see them anywhere outside of Halo Wars. They're just kind of the Halo Wars team. And of course, there's reasons we don't see them outside, but we'll get into that.
They
later.
feel a little bit at this point like John did in CE, like at the very beginning of CE, just kind of blank. You don't have a whole lot of connection with them quite yet, so that may build. And again, I'm forgetting what happened, how everything unfolds.
I think as the game goes on, you kind of get a little more personality out of them, especially once we get into the sequel. You get a little more like oomph from them. They kind of have more banter and stuff back and forth.
But very much like this game's characters are not the Spartans. It's it's Forge, Cutter, Anders, Serena.
Yep,
they're the ones you remember.
Okay, so quick on the difficulty. Easy. It has, let's see, all enemy units have 25% less health points and inflict 25% less damage. Banshee assaults are less common, and the Covenant Megaturret cannot hit the crater and has limited health points. There are less Covenant units and no enemy upgrades. Wow, easy is super easy. Heroic is all enemies have 25% more health and more damage and are upgraded. And then they're all upgraded. The Covenant Megaturret will bombard the crater base and is more resistant to damage. I felt that. I just felt the more resistant damage. It took me a little while to get rid of it. And then Legendary says all units have 50% more health and damage and are almost fully upgraded. Oof, that sounds rough. The Covenant Megaturret will bombard the crater and is more resistant to damage. And this is Banshee assaults are more frequent. Yeah, you got to up your game for this mission on Legendary. Krysta, why don't you take us through how you kicked this mission's ass?
Yeah, okay. It was my second time around.
Uh-huh.
So I actually did put the fog skull on because I felt really comfortable with the map.
Okay.
Which only gave me like 300 extra points in the long run, so it wasn't really worth it, but...
Oh, okay, because it's a little bit of a multiplayer. Okay, so that helped a little bit.
Yeah, it's like 1.1.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 1.1. So it only gave me like 300 points, so I was like, okay, whatever. That was cute. And Fog just gets rid of the mini-map, so like, if you know the maps in Halo Wars well enough, that's the first one you should turn on is Fog.
So that means you can't even... Because I use the mini-map a lot to navigate my cursor up to different spots. So that means you have to like scroll up to get to the different areas then?
Yep.
Okay.
It's not as hard as you think. As long as you know the map, you know where everything is anyway. So the first thing you do is you send Forge and you send one pack of Marines up, going straight, and then you send everyone else down that little ramp to the right. The Forge and the Marine are going to get all of the supplies by that first reactor, and then you're going to put the Marines in that first reactor.
Because this is the reactor that's on the way as you're making your retreat, right?
Yeah, it's straight. Mm-hmm. It's straight towards the base. So the rest of your units are going to go down to the right and get that other reactor, and you're gonna just put a Marine there, pick up the supplies that are around there, and then they're all gonna meet at the base. Once you get to the base,
so wait, you got both reactors right away?
Yes,
both those Oni reactors. Oh, okay,
yep.
Nice.
Yep, both reactors right away. And then you go straight to the base. You pick up all the supplies while the base is building, and then you build another reactor, all supply pads, and then one air building. Mm-hmm. That's all I did. And then, of course, you have enough reactors so you can immediately upgrade all of your supply pads. So you start bringing in the money, and then you start amassing a little bit of an army. I just did warthogs at the start, and then I made sure that all my Spartans were in a wraith. So I did that. I went around to the left and kind of went down where the black box was. So you wandered around with them?
Like you took your Spartans and kind of found the wraiths, or were the wraiths coming to your base?
one wraith came to my base. The other one, there's another wraith down by the black box, by that and it's kind of pelting your first reactor. So I went and got that one, and then there usually is one by the second reactor that you can go get.
Yep.
Once I had a big enough army, I went over because a pelican comes every once in a while and drops like vultures and more units.
You got
and
a vulture
couple
from?
tanks.
I got like
no, I didn't get a vulture. I got a
cobra.
Gosh, what is it? A cobra. Yeah, I got the cobras. And then once I have a bunch of units, I just went down and picked off that mega turret right away.
Mm-hmm.
And then got that second base up and running, and supply pads everywhere, of course. And then the field armory, so that I could upgrade my my pool plus 10.
Yep.
So I had 10 extra units to work with. And then I just made like 5 vultures. And this is about at the 15-minute mark.
Wow.
So at 15 minutes, I went and I attacked the base. And I destroyed the base with all the vultures.
Wait, without fire or the Omega team?
No, without the Mega team. I don't need Omega team. I have 4 vultures. Are you joking? I have 3 wraiths, 4 vultures.
Goddamn,
Forge is
Krysta.
still in his thing, and then I destroyed the base. And then, like you said, David, you just have to kind of sit there and keep destroying the units that come up around the base. But it'll let you put down a base where where the Covenant base was. Yeah, I took a third base,
Oh my God.
and then I just sat there. And then once 20 minutes come, Omega Team's like, "All right, we're done here. Bye." They don't even drop, and then the mission.
Oh, really?
ends,
They don't
so-
even drop in?
They don't even drop in. No, they're like, "Oh, it looks all clear here," and then they just leave.
Oh
so,
my God, that's amazing.
and
Krysta.
then that's how I got 50,000 points.
That's impressive. Nice work.
That is the correct way to do this.
Apparently.
mission. You're welcome.
Yeah, Jesus.
I felt like I was in a good spot. The last playthrough I had, but I was waiting for Team Omega. Like I didn't want to go and take over the base. I think I had 1 or 2 vultures at that point, but I didn't even want to go up to the base. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait here and wait for Fire Team Omega because there is the multiplier for, what is it, like the combat one? It's like it's a difference between how many units you destroy and how many units you lose. So I was a little worried that I wouldn't be powerful enough by the time I got up there.
Once you have 3 or 4 vultures, upgrade them so they have 2 missile barrages, and like all those missile barrages literally just destroys the base.
Yeah.
Like you just missile barrage the base with all the vultures and it just dies. And then you can just sit there and pick off everything else.
Were the hunters a pain in the ass for you at all, or it doesn't sound like
Not
it?
with vultures.
Yeah.
Hunters really don't go for aircraft, which is really nice. I mean, they beat up the Spartans a little bit. I did lose a wraith or 2, but then more of the wraiths come out, and then I just take over those wraiths.
That's awesome. Did you go? So you didn't go and get the skull at all? Because there's like that.
I did.
You did.
I got on my first playthrough. I
Oh.
ended up getting the skull, and I just got it with a hornet. I just got a hornet, and then just because it's in a weird place in the map. It's like all the way towards the front.
Yeah, it's like on that overpass that some of the Covenant feed into on your base. So you got to go all the way up to the kind of the top left of the map. It's way in the corner. So go.
Yeah,
You gotta go
my
grab
first
that.
playthrough, I just got like the black box and the
Mhm.
skull and stuff like that, and just kind of played it to get a strategy going.
And the black box is by near that first reactor as you're retreating down.
Yeah, it's below the first reactor. There's
Yeah.
it's like up on a highway, and it's like below that.
Right. Very nice, Krysta. Holy cow. David, how did you do it?
I don't even want to tell you anymore.
Maybe I should have gone
Yeah,
last.
maybe you should
It
have.
wasn't that cool. I totally forgot about the vultures, so I very badly
Boo.
tried to take out the base way too early. Lost most of my heroes. Forge was gone for the whole game.
So wait, you went after the base
I
right
got really
away?
cocky. Not right away. Let's say I retreated back to my base, garrisoned a whole lot. I did a lot of garrisoning, a lot of troops garrisoned
That's
into
huge,
all the
actually.
Pelicans around. Yeah,
That's
I
very
did a
helpful.
lot. I got a lot of very high veterancy because I kept my units alive, and they kept killing as units were waving in. They did really well. So I invested very heavily in my Marines in this game.
Mm-hmm.
My base, kind of like Krysta, was pretty much all supply pads with a barracks and a field armory. I very early took the second base and took out the gun using the Mac round. That was really cool. I do love Mac rounds.
Yeah, that came in handy for me too.
For sure. And that's like I kept the Cobras. I used the 2 Spartans I had. pretty much had raids for the whole game. And I pretty much very slowly fought my way back up. And then I was feeling pretty confident. I thought, yeah, man, I'm pretty good. Maybe 10, 15 minutes in. I went for the base with everyone I had, kind of to try and get Forge back, and the other Spartan, I can't remember which one, was downed. And
did you have 30 units at that point?
No, I did not have 30 units. I had nowhere near that amount. I don't know what I had. I was like, man, I just took the second base pretty handily. I can probably go. I had 2 forces split in 2 fronts, and I kind of came with this pincer movement. There's like a lower part where your base is, the second base is, and the upper road. And I kind of brought units down both. Was like, yeah, this should be okay. Totally demolished. Was not ready for this. Had to retreat massively back. I was like, oh crap. So that was kind of slow. I'm surprised I got gold, to be honest, but it probably because it was normal.
I was gonna say.
It wasn't too long after that a Mega came in, and then I had my ODSTs, and I just went for the base again. I kind of got more. What am I thinking of? I got a few Scorpions. Had no air units whatsoever, and just tried the same move again. And this time, I just dropped in a whole bunch of ODSTs, which was very satisfying. And pretty much.
Do they reload pretty quick?
There's about I can't tell you the timer. I don't know, but yeah, fast enough that it was like I dropped one in, a couple of seconds later, maybe a minute, I dropped another one in, in. So I had the base gone pretty quickly.
So you used a lot of Marines, huh? I used a lot of Marines.
Yeah.
Very nice. And then you still got gold on it. Nice work. Yeah, I struggled with this one, and I don't know if it's just heroic, and I'm gonna stick with heroic just to kind of see how it goes. But this, like, I had to heal. So on the initial retreat, I did send one of my Marines over to get some of the supplies along the way on the initial retreat. I didn't go get the reactor right away, but there's like the initial resistance on your way down where I had to heal all my units. Like, everybody came down. I even put one of the Spartans in the Scorpion, and I was trying to direct them around my best, but there's a couple of sets of hunters that just take big chunks out of you, and so I had to heal. So I just to waste some of my supplies on that, and then sent everybody all the way down. Settled the base after that, and then pretty similar to what we all do. Lots of supplies, a reactor. But I think, Krysta, that having those 2 reactors right away is pretty key, because then you can just focus on supplies, and that will help you build a lot faster.
You can upgrade those supply pads right away, so you make all those supply pads. Eventually, I think you need to upgrade the reactor to 4 reactors, I think, to get the vulture.
Yeah,
I don't
that's 4.
exactly remember. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There is that. Did you guys wander to the east or to the right of your base? You can kind of wander around, and down below it's like another little area, grassy area. I think a lot of the Covenant must get dropped off there, and then they wander up and around. There's like a weird garrison point over there that you could stick some people. I didn't. I messed around with it as I was trying to figure out the best strategy to beat this.
Is it that little like alcove that has a bunch of supplies in it when you first get there?
Yeah, there's a bunch of supplies down there too. Yeah.
That's the only time I went down there, was to get the supplies out of there.
So you're really spreading out and getting all those supplies, and that's huge, just to get on the front end. So you're not waiting around to build everything that you want. You can upgrade your fire base right away, all that stuff.
Yeah, because you're waiting for the base to be made anyway. So I just had you have Forge and 3 other Spartans, so I just put one of each on all the supplies and just got them right away.
Oh, you're saying right around the base proper?
Yeah, right around the base, and by each reactor has a bunch of supplies too, that I just have the Marines that I'm going to garrison there, get that, and then put them in the reactor.
Yeah, so I did do that, but it's further away, so you actually have to go out and around to get to that part that I was talking about. It's just it's a weird little spot, and it's really inconsequential to the mission, but I think that's where a lot of the Covenant get dropped off. So I didn't get the first reactor. I built up my army, and then after I was built up a little bit, then I did send a Spartan in one of the Scorpions. I think the Cobra had gotten dropped off, and then Forge, and I sent them over to get the second reactor on the left of the map that's below the mega turret. But if you sent, I had trouble because, and I think this is heroic, right? Because it's a little bit more difficult. When I sent too big of a force up, there's a Wraith up there and a bunch of Covenant that really kind of took me out. So I just really had to hug right next to the reactor. I put Forge in the reactor because his Goshawk was destroyed by that point, and I figured he could defend it a little bit. So I put him in there, and then I kind of swung the rest of my forces, a Spartan and a Cobra, around as far left as I could, because the mega turret will take out one of your vehicles right away. It, like, as soon as it sees you, it's like boom, you're done. So one of the vehicles that the Spartan was in, then it blew up, and then I still had just both the other two Spartans, and I both had them point directly at the mega turret to take it out. It's a bastard in the higher levels. That thing takes up a lot of damage, and then I did a Mac Blast to finally take that out. So when I finally secured that area, and there's a bunch of other Covenant around there, then I started garrisoning, who I had left, my Spartans in the Warthogs that are up there. There's a tower there, and then started to build up my second base. And the second base, I decided to do an air pad, and so that's when again, a couple of different playthroughs. But then I decided to go for the Vulture and do the Hornets, and I figured, that would be a good approach to take down the Covenant base at the end. I'll have to try it, though, because I still haven't gotten gold on this. I'll have to try it with getting that reactor, that first reactor. But I think the extra damage, like, I need my Spartan damage to help with that initial retreat. And if I put a Spartan up there, I feel like I won't have enough. I don't know. I'll have to play it again. But yeah, so I eventually then just kind of waited for Spartan Team Omega, which feels good, right? When they finally come in and they kind of all strut out. Like, so there's 6 Spartans. You're like, I have 6 Spartans. What? When they finally come and join the team, and then I just placed them in a bunch of different vehicles, and then made my final charge. By that point, I had upgraded my field armory.
There's 6 Spartans?
There's 6. Yeah. There's 6
When?
of them. Oh, right. Yeah. Wait a minute. I only had 3. Yeah. So you end up with 9 if you're playing, I guess, poorly, like the rest of us. You end up with 9 Spartans.
I'm just a little extra. I'm sorry, guys.
Just a little advanced.
I didn't mean to make you guys look bad.
Whatever, Krysta.
Hey, you didn't even know the Vultures were there. You would have done the same thing if you knew the Vultures were there.
Oh, damn, Vultures are beautiful. Damn right I would have.
Yeah.
They're so amazing.
They just
They're
wreck.
just like,
They wreck. And it is nice because we talked about there not being any vampires in this mission, so it's really just banshees that are focusing on any air units. And I think did maybe jackals fire up a little bit too? Like, I don't know. I think there might be I think ghosts were focusing on my Hornets a little bit. So ghosts will fire up and try to take out your air units. But so I did that. Ended up with the air attack at the end, and came up victorious, but short of my gold. So I'll be trying to perfect this one as we go. Any other notes or any other things you guys want to chat about? We can still do trivia too.
There's not a whole lot to the trivia. Apparently, I didn't see it, but I tried to find it. If you look closely at the crater at the beginning of the level, you will encounter multiple Covenant grunt lances, is what it says. However, there is a lone brute leading a grunt squad into battle. But I never noticed that.
We haven't seen brutes yet.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting. Okay. Cool. Is that it? That's all trivia?
That's it, baby.
Wow, we covered everything else. No cutscene, not much trivia. You don't need the Spartans, I guess. Interesting. Very good. Cool, Krysta, what was that black box?
Oh, yeah, let me pull that up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Our Mission 5, Arcadia Outskirts. So, September 1st, 2520, Spirit of Fire completes an extensive refit at the Reach orbital shipyards before entering active military duty as a ground support vessel. Initially detailed with providing ground support for Operation Trebuchet. I know that one. That one's mentioned a couple times.
Yeah. Very cool. So we talked about, I think it was the last black box, talks about the previous captain, how he stepped down, and now they're talking about the ship itself being refit, and how it also fits into the larger Halo lore, which is very cool. What was I was gonna mention something else before we go on the community. Oh, are you guys starting to get into this a little bit more? It feels like, Krysta, like you're starting to get into it.
Yeah,
hey,
I am.
This is actually good, right? Like it feels good playing Halo Wars, right?
Yeah, I'm actually playing it not just for the mission debrief right now. I'm playing it for fun. Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy?
Right.
Yeah, Halo's funs, guys. Halo's funs.
What?
Halo's got fun.
I don't know, like, Arcadia Outskirts was kind of like one of those, like, oh yeah, this game's like really, really cool. I should probably play more of it. So I've been kind of doing some campaign achievement hunting because I never got all the black boxes and all the skulls and all that stuff. And every mission has like an extra little like achievement attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been going around and kind of mopping those up. I'm not going ahead of where we are in mission debrief.
Well,
though.
I was prepping for the second show anyway.
Me too. I was ready to rock.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, David, and you have an RTS background to some degree, and you're having fun being the overlord, the commander of the Halo forces.
Yeah, no, I am super enjoying it again. It's kind of reminded me of like the things that I love, and there's definitely elements of this where like, oh man, I flashbacks to like how much I enjoyed Halo Wars 2, and I'm looking forward to getting to there again. It's weird how like back in the day I used to hate missions that were like not base building ones that just gave you a set for the units to go through it, and I actually really loved those missions in the Halo Wars games, the ones that just give you a bunch of units and away you go. Those are way more narrative focused for me, and I really enjoy them. Well,
it's because the Halo narrative is just so interesting.
Yeah.
So it's really nice for those narrative, like, ones that are just like, here's the mission, go corridor crawl through this with these units, and
that is
something cool.
And they've fun map designs and stuff like that as well, so I am enjoying it. It is pretty fun. I'm getting really, and the mission after this as well, I really enjoyed. I had great fun with that one.
Yeah, and it's more than just a RTS with a Halo skin on it, right? I mean, you have that, of course, right? You're playing with all the vehicles and whatnot that we love, but there is a lore impact, which is interesting. And I feel like now that we finally get to control Spartans, it feels even more like Halo because we have these super units at our disposal and they do never die like we're used to from our Spartans. It feels really good. I'm excited to keep going with this series and like you said, see what changes they made in Halo Wars 2 to really even make the RTS experience even better. All right, let's do some community and we'll get out of here.
Ooh.
Alrighty. The Facebooks, we have Mr. Colin Perkins, the admin, February 3rd, 9:03 p.m. You have the option to call in a fire team of Spartan 2s once in your lifetime. Their Pelican will pick them up at exactly 1 hour after deployment. When do you make the call? Question for mission debrief, Halo Wars, Arcadia Outskirts missions. Colin, this is a weird ass question, buddy.
I struggled on this question. I struggled.
I want them to go to the next Outpost Discovery with me. I'll be the coolest person there.
Well, that actually would be pretty dope. Imagine walking in like that. Pelican dropping you off.
I'll have like one of those like
no
mini Bluetooth speakers like attached to one of them and be like da 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 as we walk in. Yeah,
I'm sure their armor will also be able to do that. Just play out.
Do you think there are? Well, I guess they could use the speakers on their helmets.
Exactly.
I don't know. Do their speakers have good bass though? I want a really good bass. I want to shake the room.
Halsey would give them subpar audio.
Bass.
Yeah.
That's true. I'm sorry, Halsey.
Anyway,
official apology to Halsey.
Storm Maldonado, the newest and coolest name in our group. Congratulations. Having my fire team wait in the line to get Moa burgers that Krysta offered to buy them support for Spartan 2s. Thanks, Krysta. Good job.
What? When did I do that?
I don't know what you did. It sounds like something you'd do.
I do like Moa burgers though.
Matthew Blankenship has here we go. This one's deep. Greenwich Street, New York City, New York at 8:38 a.m. EST, September 11, 2001. Ooh. There you go. There's the serious answer, guys.
Right.
Storm says during the fall of Reach. Lucas chimes in again, says Omaha Beach, June 6, 1944. That'd be mental.
That would have been crazy.
All right, now we're getting into history.
Right.
You guys have lost me.
Manny says, when these kids beat me on the basketball court, although Spartans might not be well trained for the game.
Oh, no, Spartans could do basketball.
Patrick says, good God, I can't pick a time. My brother is still active duty army.
Oh, man.
Brad says, an hour before I go ask my boss for a raise. That'd be pretty dope. Logan says, after my 5 friends challenged me to a 5v5 Nerf war, I could simply grab a pair of binoculars and laugh. Storm chimes back in again, says, during New Alexandria. And Aaron Campbell, this fellow.
Oh
Aaron?
No, what did Aaron say? He better not say what
During the first great Brexit civil war, I'll be taking over approximately 30 minutes after my Spartans touch ground. That gives me another 30 minutes for banter with them after. There we go.
Perfect.
Very nice.
Can't wait for those Brexit civil wars.
Thanks for chiming in, Aaron. Don't forget to sign up for our Patreon. All right.
Yeah.
Krysta, what do you got in Discord?
Y'all are crazy on the Discord. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about half the time, but I will read the ones that I guess are the most appropriate for the show. Same question. Min Max Speech says, when I'm home alone in my house because I could use the company.
Aw.
I don't think Spartans would be very good company, to be honest.
No.
They're a little awkward. I don't know. They'd probably be like, hi. What's the mission? Dezuto says game nights. Jerome's Pictionary game is on point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think Spartans were trained in Pictionary.
They're not creative, right?
No, they'd be like, they could probably like pull up images on their helmets. They'd be cheating that entire time.
Yeah. They'd just be drawing mission, like tactical mission, like you go over here and then you go over here. Right. Attack the base.
Matt says, when I'm running late for work and need to borrow their Warthog to clear a path for the idiot who won't get out of the left lane going 10 under the speed limit. Ooh.
Oh, I'd like that.
Don't move to Florida. It's awful. Shadow of Oni says, when I finally find the guy who's been leaving OWO on all my Facebook posts and I needed some generic-looking augmented super soldiers to end that person's uwoos of terror. All right, he used OWO and then he used uwu. Which one is it, OWO or uwu? They're very different.
I have no idea what's going on.
OWO, it looks like a little face, and UWU, which looks like a little face. It's like a kawaii anime thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All right. So it's fairly innocent.
Yeah. I mean, OWO and uwu is a little annoying. I'll send you guys a video.
Okay.
A little annoying. Snark says 1 minute. One minute. Krysta comes to Dezuto's house to murder him so I can give her back up. I'm not murdering anyone.
Oh my god.
I'm not sure about that.
It's a rivalry forming.
Sam just says, the fuck. And then Snark says, or when I listen to the Podcast Evolves episode that Krysta hosts because me and the boys want to party. I accept that one. That one is perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
I like all this sucking up to me lately.
Yeah,
it's really great.
It's pretty strong
There's a lot. I'm very confused. I don't know what I did. What did I do to deserve this? Orion the Elder says, this Spartan fire team are going to drop in directly so that I can make them swing by Domino's first and then pick up tons of pepperonis.
Nice.
I want Spartans to deliver me pizza. That'd be great.
That would be great.
I would call, Hector Elite says I would call them during the part where you have to protect the transports. This is because the damn civvies won't move their asses. It's true.
I know that.
That was last mission.
That was the last mission.
They didn't move their asses. They were acting like they were at a mall. They're just like, oh, let's go window shopping for a little bit. It's like, you're about to die. That's about it. So.
Cool.
There we go. Thank you guys for all of the extra banter that I had to wade through.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. We need like a mission debrief, like chat where they can just chat and not answer questions.
There might have been one more answer that snuck in if you want to scroll down a little bit. I do want to mention the other guy.
Jedi Spartan?
Yeah, was that it? You see it?
An hour of playing invasions in attempt to actually win. I like that one. Or a Moonseal Halo LAN party with only capture the flag.
Nice. The other question that I was thinking of, again, I struggled with it, was like, what would you do if you had a mini Spartan? Because you are now you're controlling around this little, like, you know, like a little like 3-inch Spartan, like
like a BB-8 size Spartan.
Like what would we do for you? But anyway,
probably have a lot of the same answers. Probably
pretty similar. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for all of your responses. As always, we love the participation. Thanks for being thanks for being a listener. And thanks for being part of the community, guys. That'll do it for a debriefing of the Arcadia Outskirts mission from Halo Wars. On the next episode, we'll be covering Dome of Light. Send us your thoughts at podcastevolved@gmail.com or drop us a tweet at podcastevolved on Twitter. You can also support the show by visiting Podcast Evolved on Patreon. Until next time, evolved.
Evolve.
Evolved.